this beautiful, sunny, but a bit of cold weather. Ìlú òtútù làwa wà. So you always dress appropriately for the weather. A very good afternoon, good evening, and welcome once again to Campaign for Self-Determination. Like we always say, this platform is dedicated for the right of the Yoruba people to eventually have their own independent, structured country. But many people will always ask us, is this ever going to happen in our lifetime? And I say, yes, it will happen if we remain dedicated, if we remain committed, to having an independent Yoruba country. So Mokiwa Pe Ekabo, I just woke up from my sleep after running, some few programs in the morning. This is coming up to 1 p.m. local time in London. We normally say 1300 hours. In Nigeria, the time is about 2 p.m. I welcome you. Please share the program and let us discuss again, just as we do all the time. When we say that the Yoruba people should not try to fix Nigeria, as you know, politicians were, as you know, representatives were, and their job is trying to make sure that they can fix Nigeria. Well, they've been trying to fix Nigeria since Awolowo, and they will try to fix Nigeria, but we can say Nigeria cannot be fixed. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní ibi tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa nírọ̀lẹ́ àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa darapọ̀ mọ́ program náà lẹ́yìn tá a bá parí ẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èmi náà ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Koikimedia, the one that brings the world step. The Nigerian military. I asked myself, is that the same Nigerian military tani? Nígbà táwa ń dàgbà tó ń sọ fún wa pé kò sógun tí Nigerian military ò ní lọ́jà tí wọ́n ní survive, but ó ti wá dàbí pé nínú Nigeria ogun tí Nigerian military ń jà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí wọ́n lè jà mọ́ because it has become a failed system. Ìdí tó dẹ̀ ṣe fail kò ju pé Nigerian military is already compromised, and when we say compromise, everybody knows that evidence-based have shown that there is nothing called the Nigerian military anymore. So, but many Nigerians are still hoping that they can have a country that will become powerful, that will become, the global player around the world. We have been told lies, for a very long time. So it's very difficult. A very good afternoon and welcome as you're joining the program. I can see the beautiful view around me. And each time we look at this view, this is something that can be replicated across the Yoruba land, but unfortunately, it is not going to happen. Nigeria, it's currently in a crossroad, and it needs to be discussed in details. It is coming to its expiration, but they are holding on to it as much as possible. And the reason why they are holding on to it, because the day that country collapses, you realize that many lives will become much meaningful. Many lives will become much better than the present Nigeria that we have today. The present Nigeria that we have today is a country that is dedicated to so little minority. And not just the Fulanis, I'm talking about those that are controlling Nigeria from their different base, especially the European countries. They've used Nigeria to deceive us. They've told us Nigeria is workable, even though Akinso Idekono, and we will never speak the same language. This is the time that we take back our land. Here, Sonibe, Triple DRS. But many people see us as people that are angry with the system, people that are upset because maybe we are trying to create a problem for the administration, especially of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It has nothing to do with that. You are just putting sentiment around it. The same thing I'm doing is what many countries around the world have done before they eventually gain their independence. And independence is not something that somebody is going to give to you for free, especially countries that knows that the day the Yoruba people become free, we will be able to control the narratives. We can have a Yoruba military that works for us. We can have a Nigeria military that would not work for us, but people want it to work for us. Let's take it at a time. Looking at the state of things in Nigeria in the last couple of years, and when I say couple of years, from 1999, many Nigerians, when we got back to that independent era, democracy in 1999, we were all excited. You know, we thought that it would drive the economy, but some people saw it that it is not going to drive anything, but it was not something that some of us saw. So eventually, many of us thought, by trying to make it work, we would then gain something out of it as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But along the line, people say, let's restructure this country so that it can favor every part of the country. But some say, no, we can't restructure this country because it only favors them. But today, the narrative has changed slightly, especially after Tinubu became the president. Not that Tinubu is going to make any big impact, but he's also doing certain things that is becoming uncomfortable for northerners and those that are still part of the system. Tinubu, as we know today, will do as exactly what Jonathan did to favor his own people. The same thing Buhari did by favoring the Fulanis, and the same thing Obasanjo did by favoring certain people outside Nigeria. So when you look at Obasanjo today, he's 87, I guess. So people say, Obasanjo was a good president, blah, 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 paid off our debt and all kind of different lies that favors different people. But Obasanjo, as we know, already favored those in the the outside world. He also listened to some of the things they asked him to do. Now, you as a Nigerian, you, calling yourself a Nigerian, what is your gain being part of a created country that British created? What has been your gain? Many of us wanted even to join the military. I remember some people wanted to become a Nigerian, Air Force, Nigerian, whatever. And eventually, down the line today, you realize that maybe you were lucky that you did not become one of them. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó ti láǹfààní àti sá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà tó ṣiṣẹ́ nínú iṣẹ́ ológun, especially when they reach out to us. There's always been this marginalization within the Nigerian military for a very long time, but it didn't come up to many of us to see it. We did not see it because it was something that was far away from us. But today, it has become a norm that many of us now start talking about Nigeria because it's now affecting us. Nigeria has always affected us for a very long time. Whether through education, whether through health, or whether through being marginalized because you wanted something within the system and you realize that leave back. But everybody that is now talking is because we've now been more connected more than 30, 40 years ago. The connection that we have among ourselves today is the beauty of the technology. The technology has exposed Nigeria more than what Nigeria was meant to be or what it has always been. So eventually, we, whether I ought to, eventually today, we have now been able to expose that entity, that beautiful place that we were told that is great for every one of us. We've been able, especially in the last 3 years. I am not talking about those that started the campaign some 10, 20 years ago. They didn't explain a lot of things. No. But today, we have now down the details to details, understand the real reason why Nigeria was created. The question to Yoruba, again, what created Nigeria famous here? Ask yourself that question. Was Nigeria created for me and you? Ask yourself. Because Nigeria was not created for us. Because when the British system was operating in Nigeria, what they did was a very, very smart move. They created a line where they were moving the natural resources. Ibelo build the train see. Latibe, what they build a lossy inu port. Nibita on ship on docksy. What they Kogobo resources, what they move out. Mr. Deyemi Mohammed refused. With this system, nothing can work again toward Nigeria. I mean, many Yoruba people, I don't blame them. When they say Koiki Eshe Suru there, Edeka She Suru, things will work. We are not blaming you. It is because your understanding is that it will work. But for some of us, whether we live outside or you live in Nigeria, you need to look around and ask yourself, which of the sector do you think is going to work? To my favor, Yoruba. I am not talking about favoring us as Nigerian, because we are Yoruba before Nigeria. We have proved that enough. Nobody should come and say anymore that Kinshe Omo Yoruba Katoje Nigeria. Because the whole world, Nigeria, November, Indigo, Golf, Echo, Romeo, Indigo, Alpha, Nigeria. The whole world, don't play in Nigeria. Everything to relate to Nigeria was only created less than 110 years old. It took me 200 years. So, are you saying that fixing Nigeria should be something that will be done after you have exited this world? Because we are going to die at some point, but we pray for long life. We pray that we die at the particular time that peace will come into our life after we become old enough to die. But the creation of Nigeria, as we know today, is not in the interest of those that they call Nigeria. If it was in the interest of those that they call Nigeria, I mean, it would have even been an argument that Koiki, shut up. You know, how can you say that Nigeria was not created for us? I got my Nigerian passport and I used that to travel around the world. I have been a successful businessman. I have been a successful entrepreneur. I have been a successful civil servant. I have lived in Nigeria and I don't have any issue being a Nigerian. Okay. But the true meaning of Nigeria today is not corresponding with who we are as people. Let's talk about the Church of England. During the slave trade, Church of England was investing money so that they can bring slaves out of Africa into European countries for profit purpose. Listen to me. The reason why investigation went into that and was revealed last year is that Church of England paid so that Kolegba Eru or Showeru say what she to favor me you. Yeah. Number two, today our identity that okay, Timani Mr. Dada Olatunde Eka Sonbe, yes, sir. Mr. Dada Tunde name stand for a Yoruba man. Tibaki Yanurat Owo Kuti, Mrs. Toyin Fakos Ashake, those are Yoruba name. But what change orúkọ yẹn látara pé ó jẹ́ kó máa jẹ́ Yorùbá wọ́n wá ní ká máa pè ní Nàìjíríà. The question is, ilẹ̀ wo Nàìjíríà ní? Tell me the ground. Ilẹ̀ wo ló ní? Kò nílẹ̀ kankan. Kò ní ilẹ̀ kankan ju pé ilẹ̀ tí wọ́n sọ pé ó níyẹn àwa Yorùbá lá ní ilẹ̀ yẹn. Ilẹ̀ yẹn àwa lá ní. I cannot become kí wọ́n sọ nísìnyí pé bàbá ńlá mi ló nílẹ̀ yìí. The question is, ọ̀nà wo ni mo gbà fi ní? Yes, I could claim a British citizen due to either I was born here, number one, due to either we apply for immigration status and that was given to us to become a British citizen. But kí wọ́n máa sọ pé bàbá ńlá mi ló nílẹ̀ yìí and I am going to call it a Yoruba land. That means that people that are English, àwọn òyìnbó, English people, they will take me to court because that is what some of our members were saying in the past. We should take Nigeria to court for trying to claim the territory that is not its own. But who are we going to take to court? Who are the Nigerians that we're going to take to court? First is the British. Ó jẹ́ ká sue Britain for giving us a false identity. By now, there should be a lot of litigation against Britain for forcing a narrative that is not our own on us. Ó yẹ ká Hausa máa gbé Britain lọ sí court. Ó jẹ́ kí gbogbo 300 or whatever ethnic group, indigenous people, ó jẹ́ ká sue Britain. We should be filing cases upon cases in the international community, in the European country, in the African country, that Britain created something that doesn't represent me. That is number one. So today, as many people wake up because your parent gave birth to you in Nigeria, yes, it's because that is what Britain fabricated that allow your parent and my parent and our grandparent to be deceived. But those before 1914 knew. There's a case that one of my auntie in this country shared with me. A very, very real-time story. Okay, real life. The mother lived there, the grandparent lived in this country prior before the 1914 amalgamation. They've lived in this country. So they went back, they came back here, and they are now classifying them as Nigerian. Even though as at that time, there was nothing called Nigeria, everybody knew that. Today, what we are fighting for is to save the future of our identity. We are having identity crisis. Identity crisis kò ní yọ kúrò tá a bá pull out kúrò ní Nigeria. But the day we pull out of Nigeria, you will realize that first thing first is that our identity will be rectified officially. The word Nigeria is just what we need to remove from the Yoruba land. That's all. We are not moving the land. Move it. All your properties, all your wealth that you have in Yoruba land, even as àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù, gbogbo nǹkan ni wọ́n tán ní tó wà lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn, ó sì máa wà níbẹ̀. But nǹkan kan ló kàn máa kọ́kọ́ change. The name Nigeria will stop to exist automatically níjọ́ tá bá ti gba country tiwa. Àwọn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa lo èyí tí a bá decide through conference, through voting system, whether we want to call it Oduduwa Republic, Yoruba Nation, Yoruba Kingdom, it doesn't matter to me. We can call it anything. That will be subject to what our Akolama decide. I'm not going to be the one to decide that we must become a Yoruba nation. No. That is just what we are using temporarily until we get to the final stage of the movement. It can become an Oduduwa Republic. It can become anything. But then our true identity will then be established and communicate to the international community around the world. We will stop using that fraudulent Nigerian passport. Because that passport is fraudulent, because it is that passport ni wọ́n fi ń yá owó ní World Bank on my behalf and you. Now, many of us doesn't even know that our life has been mortgaged, because as we speak today, the debt to wà lórí Nigeria, myself and you and the next generation will not be able to pay it back. I'm sure you will then ask, but Koiki, if we cannot pay it back, who then is going to pay it when we eventually break away from Nigeria? That is something that our new economic finance system will sit together with the World Bank, with the IMF, with whoever we have taken the loan from, and then renegotiate how we will start paying that money back in whatever ways we decide that will then become part of our own loan, because we are going to pay it back. All the loan that Nigeria has taken, should the country dissolve today, we will have to pay it back through a new negotiation. We will then have a new system. First and foremost, Amani, the new embassy that will represent us around the world, that would have the Yoruba embassy, Italy, Yoruba embassy, Moscow, Yoruba embassy in the US, in Turkey, in Greece, in UK. All that would then also come in place. We would automatically stop using English as our official language from the day tí Yoruba bá ti gba independence wọn, because we don't have an independent country yet. For those of you being deceived by Dupe Onitiri, there's nothing called a country. And later on, when I'm doing my presentation on the software, I was listening to Vantage before I slept. There is a dispute happening between China and India right now. There's a lot of tension in a particular border to join our méjèèjì. India has now gone to put 10,000 foot soldiers to defend and protect that territorial ground. So that is why I say that nígbà tí Dupe Onitiri sọ pé I have created a country. Okay, you have created a country, kò sẹ́ni tó ń bẹ̀ jà. But which part of Yoruba land is that country operating from? Because I know that if you have created a country, we should automatically have our own police. We should automatically have our own airspace protected, so that there will be no movement of people that we don't want to have on our airspace. We should automatically have our own custom. We should automatically have our own security system, our own banking system. Mo rí fídíò kan tí àwọn ọmọ Dupe Onitiri tọ́nà lọ sínú ọjà. A woman that is just in the market. Ṣẹ̀rí ẹ̀yin diaspora tí ẹ̀ ń fún wọn ní this ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ pé wọ́n ti declare country. I am not here to argue with you because it's no point. Woman ẹ béèrè question kan. I watched the video. Omeyo send it to me. Woman ẹ ní, how are you? Very good. How was your swimming? Very good. Love you. Woman ẹ ní, owó wo la máa ná? Okay, it's happening in Himalayan region. Eshegoni, Mr. Waris Yinodu. This international news as well, like myself. For the benefit of our listeners, international news. Thank you so much, Mr. Altisaba. Well done, brother. Appreciate. And all those of you that are commenting, I'll pick on it later, but appreciation. Keep the comment flowing. It helps the algorithm of the program. Mrs. Grace Olutoshoni, our identity and heritage is very important to myself and the generations. I don't know about yourself. Please be wise. Don't be stupid and foolish and daft. Let's do what is expected now, and we can all enjoy it later. And as you're walking into the program, it doesn't cost you anything. Some of you watch the program and you're thinking, Tibalo share program is sorry timeline me. And when your mama go me not support the Yoruba nation. Really? So for you now, you think that if you share my program or any of the campaigners on your timeline, then people will call your attention and say, so you want to all around Yoruba nation. Don't be scared. Don't let anybody pull you back. But you are supporting what belongs to you. Britain, I mean, imagine Britain gives me the privilege to dress like this, even though it means nothing. Imagine Britain give me the opportunity to live with different people, but yet in Nigeria is a different thing entirely. Mr. Waris, the Yoruba Wura Fadaka Baba Coinage Act. So we will have a system that works for us, that works for everyone that is called Omo Yoruba, and those that will live with us through either immigration, through because we have lived together. Because those of us that we have lived together, we will have an MOU or a pact where we will not just say because people that have lived with us, I'ma get rid of them. Let me say, as I say, until then, when those that say that they have declared a country, which I was talking before, I picked on that comment, and that's why when you pick on a comment, you lose your line. Number one, there is no independent Yoruba country officially today. So if anybody says that it is just another way of deceiving us, there's no country declared called Yoruba nation. But in the future, should a declaration happen, just as I was saying earlier in Himalayan, somewhere in India, where there's a dispute of border between China and India. India Tibet 10,000 soldiers lost Tibet. That is why I said in my previous program, I believe on Friday, Timon Shai series. I was doing the series this morning, but my internet, collapse, glitch. So we come back again to that particular, series later on again when I have more time to discuss about Vietnam. I still want to do a lot of that series to educate us. When you look at the issue, the present issue today, the issue that we are discussing today is an issue of territory dispute. The Nigerians or the system only Awala in Nigeria. The question is, the Yoruba people own the southwest part of Nigeria. We are not claiming the northern part of Nigeria, neither are we claiming the southern part of Nigeria. We are not claiming the middle belt. We are literally claiming our own indigenous part of what was created. Where are you going again? You're right. But today, what we are saying is that we are seeing our politicians still negotiating Lori Nigeria on our behalf. When are we going to stop that? This is why we are asking for self-determination. But this same set of criminals, they are not going to listen to me and you, because instruction given to them from outside is that do not allow Nigeria to break. Do not allow the disintegration of Nigeria, because should you allow that, these Yoruba people will flourish. I am not saying everyone, but at least half of the Yoruba people that are living outside the territory known as Yoruba land today will return back home. Half of us. Ama padà sílé, mo kí ìyàwó Àṣàkẹ́ TV show. Ama padà sílé láti lọ gbìyànjú láti build ìlú wa padà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà nílé. Not everybody, but half of us will go back. When we are talking about Yoruba nation, question táwọn èèyàn máa ń bi wá ni pé, have we engaged everybody in this movement? Oh yes, àti engage everybody. because for anybody to ban criticize the Yoruba nation and engage in here, because kí ló dé tó ń criticize Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation is not because of Chief Sunday Igboho, no. Yoruba nation is not because of me. Yoruba nation is not because of our campaigners. It's because of who we are. La ṣe ń gbé ètò Yoruba nation jáde. Our horror, we are bringing Yoruba nation so that we can attack, people, personality, or institution, or because we don't like Bola Tinubu. Kí ni kàn mí pẹ̀lú Bola Tinubu? Bola Tinubu is just one out of many Yoruba people that owns Yoruba land. Kò sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú Tinubu. Tinubu lives in this country during his own time. Time ẹ̀ ló ìgbà tí ẹ̀ ló ń lò. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé àsìkò ní gbogbo nǹkan. Ìgbà ní gbogbo nǹkan. Ìgbà òde ń lọ réré. Because nígbà tí Tinubu náà ń jàjà tó ń jà, ó ń jà fún a purpose. But lẹ́ni nísìn, ó ti yí ohun padà, ó ti change music tiẹ̀. Music tiẹ̀ nísìn ni pé òun fẹ́ bá wa fix Nigeria. Bóyá kó fix ẹ̀ for Nigeria to dissolve. I don't have that evidence and I cannot say authoritatively that Tinubu has the guts to do so. I have told you that so many times. If you're thinking that President Tinubu máa fún yín ní Yoruba country, you are going to wait for a very long time until he hand over the power back to the north. Yes, he can do certain things that is upsetting the system right now. That is not making some people very comfortable. That is why they call it a government. So if any other àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù bá ń bínú pé it's the weather, so it's a lot of wind and sometimes that affects the connection or the connectivity. So tí wọ́n bá rò pé nítorí Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu la ṣe ń bínú pé àfẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́ kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú òun, because Tinubu is just one out of many millions of Yoruba people around the world today. But the real reason that the campaigners are back to back, the reasons why we want to establish an independent Yoruba country, òun ni láti bora wa láṣìírí èdè wa. Torí tí bá sọ Yorùbá for a very 5-10 minutes nísìn, àwọn tó gbọ́ Yorùbá nìkan ló máa gbọ́, ẹni tó bá gbọ́ Yorùbá kọ́ máa pé kí ló ń sọ lẹ́nu, because èdè yẹn wọ́n understand it. I get on the bus. I love to travel on the bus, as most of you know that. Each time tí bá wà lórí London transport, I tend to hear different language. Àwọn tó ń lo èdè yẹn kóòdù ni wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ káwa tó kù tàwa lórí bọ́ọ̀sì mọ́ tó ń sọ. Kò ṣe pé ẹlòmíì ò gbọ́ Òyìnbó, because there is no way you will live in an English-speaking country like I do. Tó ní gbọ́ tátàtà díẹ̀díẹ̀ tó máa fi communicate. But tó bá ti jọ wà tó pé méjì, tó pé mẹ́ta, bí àwa náà ṣe máa ń ṣe bí ọmọ Yorùbá tá bá wà láàrin ara wa. Because tí bá wà lórí bus, ẹni tí bá fi pé ó gbọ́ èdè mi, kí ni mo fẹ́ máa sọ English fún, especially tá bá fẹ́ sọ àwọn nǹkan àṣírí tá a fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn gbọ́, à gbé èdè wọnú ibẹ̀. Àwọn tó ń lo èdè tí wọ́n yẹn náà tó fi ń sọ̀rọ̀, èdè wọn yẹn ló identify wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ìlú tó ti wá. But lẹ́nìí, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá, mo kíyàwó bàbá wa Augustine Adémọ́lá, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́nìí nísìn, ẹni náà ẹ jẹ́ ká fi èdè wa sílẹ̀, kò ń ṣe pé àní máa bára wa sọ, but ká keep Nigeria. For every day tá bá ń keep Nigeria, èdè lédè la fi ń communicate tó kì í ṣe èdè tiwa, which is English, because èdè wo kì í ṣe èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. We don't own English and we are not okay, ìwọ tó ní I am a Nigerian. Okay, I agree, you are a Nigerian. Nobody argue with you on that. You are a Nigerian. Okay, fine. You are a Nigerian, but the question is, what language is Nigeria? Èdè wo ni Nigeria sọ? Because tó bá sọ fún mi pé English ni èdè Nigeria, I will argue with you that you are a liar. You are a bloody liar. Irọ́ ló ń pa. Because àwa kọ́ la ní English. Èdè wo kì í ṣe èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Àpàlàmàgòmó kí ẹ ń lẹ̀. Brother mi dáadáa. Ìlú tó ń wà nísìn, Spanish ló fi ń communicate. Kò lè gbé nílùú yẹn tó bá gbọ́ Spain, tó bá gbọ́ Spanish. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ Spanish, pààyàn. but ìwọ tó ń claim pé I am a Nigerian, Koiki, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tá a máa ṣe sí, I would die as a Nigerian. Nobody argues with you. But èdè wo ní Nigeria? Tell me, which language? Èdè wo ní Nigeria ń sọ? Èdè tó convenient fún àwọn òyìnbó amúnisìn, àwọn òyìnbó 419, àwọn òyìnbó tọ́jayé tiwa mọ́ tiwọn, because ó ti jayé tiwọn mọ́ tiwa. And I'll tell you why. I live here now. Wọ́n bí mi sí ìlú yìí, but mò ń gbádùn ju ọmọ ìlú yìí gan lọ tí bá mọ tí mò ń ṣe. Mo ní right bí ọmọ ìlú yìí, but ìwọ tí òun claim Nàìjíríà, o tí jayé Nàìjíríà, o wá fẹ́ lọ jayé lọ́run. You can see that you have been fooled. Bí Akalamago TV ṣe sọ, Nigeria ò ní official language because we have been put together. Àwa bí 250 indigenous people. Àwọn míì ní gbogbo ethnic group wọn, because we are not tribes. Again, that's part of the lie. Spanish will force you to speak their language. Báwo tẹ̀lé ṣe fẹ́ gbé níbẹ̀ nígbà tó bá go English? So the word English, àwa kọ́ la ní, èdèlédè ni. And that is the first thing that knock off as you claiming to be Nigerian. Èdèlédè ni gbogbo wa lọ kọ́. Báwo la ṣe kọ́ èdè yẹn? When we got to nursery school, or àwọn tó bá lọ sí Jẹ́lósímì, whether it was a public or private, irú àwọn tó yẹ pé private làwa lọ. I went to a private primary school, but I went to a public secondary school, a top-notch one, Abeokuta Grammar School. So I was told to start learning English by the alphabet. A for apple, B for ball, C for car, or let's say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, M, N, L, O, P, Q, R, S, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABC. That was part of the beginning of the fraud. Now, èmi ò lè kà yẹn ní èdè tèmi gangan, ní èdè abínibí mi tó jẹ́ ti Yorùbá. Because officially, wọ́n ń lo èdèlédè láti fi interrogate wa nínú ibi tá à ń pè ní elédè tiwa. Mo ti gbọ́ voice ìyá mi Faith David, but mo rí. I was just saying it as I was coming into the program. Wọ́n fi èdè tẹlòmíì, wọ́n fi train gbogbo wa. That is why some of us can speak eloquently like this. Kò wá ń ṣe gbogbo òyìnbó náà ló lè sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Ìyẹn ni wọ́n fi ń rẹ̀ yín jẹ nílé. Especially àwọn parents wa kan, wọ́n ní èmi ò kàwé púpọ̀, but mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ mi kàwé. Kí lẹ mí pé kàwé púpọ̀? Èdè tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn náà lẹ fi ń kàwé. Because àwọn ìyá yẹn tẹ́ bá lọ sí inú ọjà, àwọn ìyá yẹn máa sọ iye tí 1 million jẹ́ fún ẹ ní èdè Yorùbá láì gbé calculator. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa sọ iye tó jẹ́ tó bá multiply ẹ̀, tó bá minus kúrò lára ẹ̀. But because in táwọn bàbá wọn fi kọ́ wọn nìyẹn, but nígbà tó di pé àwọn òyìnbó amúnisìn dé, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú. Wọ́n ní no, ẹ gbé èdè tiyín sílẹ̀, ẹ gbé èdè tiyín sílẹ̀, ẹ lọ gba èdèlédè tó ń pè ní English. Àwa ń fi English yẹn, àwa fi ń ṣe mode of communication títí di wákàtí. And it has become a deep problem that lẹ́ni nísìn kò sí sector kan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ government official English ló fi ń communicate. But the same country ní Spain, wọ́n bí bàbá anybody dá kó fi èdèlédè fi communicate pẹ̀lú wọn tó bá ti ń ṣe Spanish. Tó bá lọ sí Turkey, tó bá lọ sí France, tó bá lọ sí a country tó kì í ṣe English speaking country, àwa nìkan là ń lọ sí post office tó máa ní do you want first class or second class? Màá ní I want first class. But the same post office tó bá lọ sí Spain, wọn níbẹ̀ sọ English, èdè tí wọn lọ́ máa fi communicate. But ní Nigeria, I don't know whether we still have post office. Instead tó yẹ kó máa fi Yorùbá fi bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n wá ń lo English fi communicate pẹ̀lú wa. Truth and question, thank you so much. Super say most Americans can't even speak English correctly. So throughout my primary school, I was being trained using a fraudulent language that does not represent me. But we didn't know. Even in Germany, Yawa Sharon, one is same thing in Germany. Now I know why there was a lot of noise in Grandma's house.
Yeah, those children say, man.
Oh boy, they've kept you busy.
Yeah.
Take care. Neighbor minute. Emma Binu. I'm a bit cold. It's wala Roy. Bishop bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi mo kí gbogbo ẹ bá pín ètò. We've been defrauded by using somebody else's language. That is part of the fraud. Mo kí bàbá boy. Now, we are not here to bring all our politicians down. But in terms of money, is this something that we should continue with, even with all this exposition? Because there's nothing good than knowing all this exposition, having say analysis nípa ọ̀rọ̀ afẹ́kúrò ní Nigeria. Afẹ́kúrò ní Nigeria, ó wà lára pé identity theft. And many ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nigeria, ẹ̀yin gan mọ̀ tán pè ní identity theft. I am not even going to use awatawala abroad, because an identity theft means that èèyàn kan lo details ẹ̀ ní Nigeria, ó fi gba loan, ó fi gba ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan. Níjọ́ tí wọ́n wá dìde pé èmi ọmọ nílùú, ó wá wọnú bank, ó lọ sí GT. My name is Ayomi Kundamiju. Èmi ni Ayomi Kundamiju. Bank àwa sọ fún ẹ pé wọ́n kọ́kọ́ pọlọ́pàá wá, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Wọ́n ní the same Ayomi Kundamiju yìí àti ń wa ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta, wọ́n ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Wọ́n ní because ó gba loan 10 million kò san padà. Wọ́n á máa wonder pé how láti bo síbo? Èmi ṣe fi gba loan lọ́wọ́ yín ni. Wọ́n ní no, ó ti gba loan. Àwa di pé investigation máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Along the line, wá wá rí pé èèyàn kan ló lo details Ayomi Kundamiju láti wá fi gba loan ní bank. But by that time, probability wà pé ẹni tí a ń jẹ́ Ayomi Kundamiju yẹn tó bá ti nà, tó bá ti gbé lọ sí prison. So what Nigeria has done for 110 years, òun ni pé wọ́n piloted. Look, Nigeria was crafted in a way that a dúpẹ́ pé àsìkò yìí táwa ń pariwo yìí is something that is the best in the history of what is known as our life. Imagine tó bá yẹ pé irú àsìkò báyìí ò wá sí time by, everybody will still be trying to fix Nigeria. Mo kí àwa Adébímpé Awoniyi. We will still be trying to fix Nigeria, not knowing that it is part of the lie to build Siwalara by telling me that the first priority ni pé kí n lọ kọ́ A, B, C títí dé Z instead of alphabet ti Yoruba. Why then are we campaigning that some people are now coming to say, no, it is not meant to be like that? Anybody tó bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ against intanṣe, they are part of what is making the Yoruba nation continue to be understood by their own people that listen to them. But the people tó bá listen sí wọn náà béèrè pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n ń pariwo Yoruba nation? Ṣé torí Ìgbòho la ṣe ń pariwo Yoruba nation? No. Kò ń ṣe torí pé Chief Sunday Igboho, no. No. Everybody is fighting for the right that was removed from us by Britain. Because Britain, àwọn gangan ni wọ́n fi iná síbi tí kò jẹ́ kó wà. This country. And we have a lot of people that have studied in this country, from MKO Abiola to Saraki to the Otedolas and many like that have taken opportunity to school in this country, well educated in this country, well educated. I am not talking about your education, no. Well educated, but they are now sitting at the fence because one more pé in táwọn sọ nísìn tá ń challenge wọn is the truth. Is the truth. Because for any ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá ti gbé nílùú ìtọ́jà àwọn olówó wa, argument tí wọ́n nísìn ni pé okay, we have lived together for a very long time, and you see them. I'll give you a particular one. Call himself Afe Babalola. Afe Babalola is a well-read, is a learned man, well-read, senior advocate of Nigeria. But their argument is that but the constitution is not working and they are not going to change it. They are part of the crime scene known as Nigeria. Because irú àwọn Afe Babalola àwọn ogun ló yẹ kó wà at the forefront of this movement. Irú àwọn Afe Babalola and Femi Falana, FFK is well read. Oh no, kàwé dáadáa, Feni Kayode. And you can also give me some more names in the comment section. They are well read. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, bàbá mi Adékúnlé Ramon, wọ́n ní torí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá la ṣe ń pariwo. Kò ń ṣe torí Sunday Igboho ni gbogbo wa ṣe ń pariwo. But Sunday Igboho kò jẹ́ akíkanjú látara bí Elédùmarè ṣe dá. Kò ń ṣe torí Igboho la ṣe ń pariwo. No. But we need in anything in life, somebody will always be the front burner. Tí gbogbo wa máa wá ràgò sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Kò sí institution ọba kan lénìí tí kò mọ òtítọ́. But the reason why tí wọ́n ṣe wà tí wọ́n ṣe tó ṣe craft àwọn ọba bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn is part of the fraud. Because Britain tèmi ń gbé àwọn respect institution wọn to the extent that òfin wà ìyẹn ní àwọn táwa nílùú yìí ó ní bá ṣe lè sọ̀rọ̀ níwọ̀nba látara criticize wọn. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti pè mí Frank Bello tájọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation òun àti àǹtí ẹ̀ lamẹ́ríkà pè mí pé ó bẹ̀ mí pé kí n jọ kí yé máa sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn royal family because ibi báyìí lè mí gbé pé kí n wà very careful. Frank Bello is still alive, go and ask him. Now tabawari ìgbà táwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ara tawa a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ òkú ọ̀rọ̀ sáwọn ọba wa kò jẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lóòótọ́. Ó yẹ kọ́ ní kọ́ lọ máa gbé orí wa wá sínú palace ni ọba ló wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. But ìgbàkúgbà táwọn Britain create òun ló kọ̀ fáwọn náà ní pé àwọn ọba gẹ̀ adẹ̀dúpẹ́ Jerry, a boy stabbed in Glasgow with a serious injury. Breaking news. Ń wá lórí timeline mi nísìn. But adúpẹ́ pé we have reset our brain. But well, okay, fine. Àwọn ọba wa kò ń ṣe pé kò wọ́n láti dá sí. But the system tí Britain create, Britain gba agbára kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọba wa. Ó gbé lé àwọn olóṣèlú lọ́wọ́. Ṣé bí Britain ṣe operate nìyẹn ní UK? Mukiawa Christina, one cheers, Lion. What did you get for lunch? Greetings from. I don't even know what my wife is cooking. I just know that the kitchen is already, women, our mothers cooking every weekend. Thank you so much, all the way from Italy. One love. Shout out to everyone on the thread as well. Keep the comment coming and share the program. This platform, like I always say, is not a violent platform, but it prepares our mind for the worst case scenario. You might not like some of my utterances sometimes, and I care less. Let's come back again. We are still giving the reasons why tí ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti lọ máa gbàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ àwọn olóṣèlú. Ṣé nígbà tí Rishi Sunak, we did not vote for Rishi Sunak. Maybe some of you don't know that. Mo kí Mr. Dele láti Sheffield. Àwọn Yorùbá pọ̀ níbẹ̀, àwọn Nigerians. Thank you so much. What is your plan? What do you mean, what is my plan? My plan is to make sure that we bring down Nigeria as much as possible using my platform to educate many Nigerians home in Nigeria and abroad. Because we have many Nigerians that are living here that do not want Nigeria to dissolve. I don't know why. Many of them. But we come back to that. Now, the focus point is Britain knew, wow, all the way from Taiwan. Lord of mercy. Thank you so much for watching me all the way from Taiwan. You might want to put where you're watching from as well. Oh, yes. You're putting question mark, bring down Nigeria. Where are you watching me from? From Sheffield. Was Nigeria not brought together for a purpose? So we bring it down. Either through violence, through diplomacy, or through anarchy, or through war. I care less. So that is right. You're right. I say that. Bringing down Nigeria. Anyway, I don't want to be distracted too much. I've responded back to you. Let's now ask. You're asking me, which part of Nigeria are you from? Let me respond to you. You say, what is the gain in doing this, brother? You see, somebody lives in Sheffield. He's asking me what is the gain in trying to bring down Nigeria. You see why we are having problems? And you are meant to be an educated man or woman. I believe you're a man. And we are not fighting now. We are just corresponding because I'm responding back to your question. You say, what is my gain in bringing down Nigeria? What is the gain of Nigeria existing today? So you're a Yoruba man and you're asking me, what is my gain in bringing down Nigeria? So you are in support of one Nigeria, I guess, but which is your right. And we are not fighting yet. We are just communicating. So you're asking me, what is my gain in bringing down Nigeria? I am asking you now, what is the gain of the existence of Nigeria for the purpose of Yoruba people? Oh, you are new here. Oh boy. you are going to go back and watch, a lot of, the first thing is go on my website, Koikimedia.com, and look for the history of the Yoruba people, which is right in your front by Professor Banji Akintoye. When you read that, you will understand who we are as Yoruba people. And that will give you the privilege to understand where we are coming from and where we are going. Where we are going is that the existence of Nigeria today is not worth putting together. The existence of what is known as Nigeria today, and I have lived here for 24 years, I have served more than enough of you in this country as part of the community in Nigeria. And I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 years. And I never got paid for that. But when we now understand what is the existence of Nigeria, it is what bringing it down through a peaceful means or through whatever way. So you are the leader of IPOB like. Well, I am not the leader. I am just one of the campaigner for the right of the Yoruba people to self-determination. So you can actually say we are also similar to what the IPOB want, their own independent country. And I mean, like I always say, for those of us that still believe in Nigeria, it is your fundamental right to believe in Nigeria, but in the long run, it will not work because we will not be favorable after Tinubu's tenure or even before Tinubu's tenure. Because the word Nigeria is the fabrication by the British. Okay, you see why I say not everybody has the balls. Oh, who they are watching. So Interpol doesn't need to watch me because what I'm doing right that the Scottish people are doing. But you are right to say whatever you want to say. Nnamdi Kanu is going through what is going through because the British, which is a part of the fraudulent system, with the Kanu was kidnapped, the British system refused to talk about it. Something Nigeria, as Mr. Dele, I'm moving. He said, well, yes, I'm mentioning violence because violence. Liverpool Museum and see how violence was used during the slave trade. Church of England was of a crime. So when you say I am violent, oh yes, I love violence because violence is part of the world. Violence is played out by Israel against Palestine, where 30,000 American President Joe Biden just came out and said enough is enough. After 30,000 and 2 million people displaced, that is violence. So when you say I am violent, oh yes. In 1816, for 5 years, there was a bread and blood riot in this country for 5 years. 5 years. Well, instead of talking here, how about going to Nigeria? Like I said, you have to go back. I'm going to move on because you're going to be disturbing me and distracting. I will not answer you anymore. You don't know me. That's why you are probably asking this question. I was in Nigeria in 2021, and I'll be in Nigeria at the appropriate time again. So you're probably new to the platform, like you said. So go back on my website and read more about me so that you can have a better understanding. So I'm going to move on swiftly because you will become a distractor or distraction rather to the conversation. If you're new to the platform, I can understand that you don't have a background to what we are fighting for. But for you to understand what you are hearing from the Nigerian media or the 419 British media, you are wasting your time. You better stick to this kind of platform and many other platforms like that so that you can liberate yourself from the shackles of the mentality you are currently, listening to from the BBC News and the rest of them. Ayaka continue. I'm going to leave Mr. Daly alone so that he can continue to watch. When we talk about a bit of code, as this is part of the world that we live. Now, àwa ìran Yorùbá, à ń béèrè fún ẹ̀tọ́ wa. I'm just reading Chinedu message says, your man is in the office. I guess you're meant by Bola Tinubu. Yoruba officers are leading the army, Air Force, Navy. If the Yoruba want to dissolve Nigeria, there's no final time for me. I think there's not a single ethnicity in Nigeria. You're quite right. Even being part of that. How are you? Even part of the even part of the Tinubu, as you say, Chinedu, you're right. This is even the time for us to make a more push. But many people in Nigeria today still want Tinubu to be in power, hoping that he's going to be an empire, he's going to be there forever. And Tinubu is only there for a very, very limited time. Please do not insult Mr. Daly. He's new on the platform. He probably doesn't even know what is going on because he's been working his whole way in Sheffield trying to survive. And sometimes people come across videos. He's probably not understanding what we are saying. So please, there's no need to insult him. And I've been able to answer him as much as I can. But like I said, he can go on my website and there will be able to be vast amount of information that reasons why we need to go out of Nigeria. So coming back to the conversation, because Mr. Daly took away most of our time, but again, it's good like that because we might have one or two people that doesn't have an idea what is happening as well. The Reno, don't let no to get hold of you so that you don't fall sick. I don't know what that means. Oh no, it's not about outside. It's just the normal weather. I'm all right. So patience or a lot. Lẹ́ni nísìn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bí wá pé ṣé kìíní máa possible ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bí wá pé ṣó máa possible mo ní kí ló dé tí kò ṣe lè possible ó máa possible but àwọn tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kó possible àwọn European countries wà nínú wọn. We are dealing with a big massive problem because the European countries do not want to have us as an independent country working side by side with them and develop our own pathway as Yoruba people. And the question is why? Why should we, whether we are 30 million, whether we are 40 million, why can't we have an independent Yoruba country and work in line with other international countries around the world? Why? No, it's not that cold. Why? Okay, Teba get in touch, Belumi, Mr. Debola says, how can I get a Professor Banji Akitoye's book in the US? At the moment, I only have 100 copies. I don't know how many left. But Teba with me after the program, I can get you the information across to those entity way away. Or you can also buy it in Nigeria on Konga website. But if you want the PDF, you go on my website, Koikimedia, and you can find it there. Today, the Yoruba people are one of the most intelligent in the world. The international community knows that. They've seen our capability. They've seen where we can become useful. But what they want is, they want to continue to override us using that entity that was created, which we must bring down, whether they like it or not. And I say it again, either through peaceful means or through violence or through war. Because Nigeria is sitting on the keg of gunpowder as we speak right now. And it is happening because there is no structure to protect the indigenous people. People thought that Tinubu will be there, kidnapping will stop, economy will bounce back. No, PDP destroyed the saddest, known as Buhari. Buhari is one of the saddest, the evil man. And same Buhari, you see, this is, and I want you to listen to this area very well now, especially you, Mr. Dele. The same former President Buhari, that is one of the most evil government that we've ever had in Nigeria, will fly to London and sit with the director. Is now important that we fight today to save the future. The future is not in Nigeria. The future is in our territory. That territory belongs to us, but it does not belong to the name called Nigeria. That name needs to be brought down, and everybody goes back to whatever name that preferable to them. And if the Northerners, that the British government, Muki Awasera Oyelowo, the British created not just the problem during the independence. The British made sure that the Southwest did not win the election, and that went to the North and even the censor. The first ever election was rigged. So when people say that they are rigging election, Tinubu is a rigger. There's no doubt about it in my mind. He never won the election, but what do you expect? You expect Tinubu that has paid so much price to come and tell you, oh, I will give Peter Obi to come and become the president. Even if Peter Obi becomes the president, Peter Obi was part of the crime with the PDP. He is also a criminal, because Peter Obi was part of the agent of the PDP that destroyed Nigeria. So what difference does it make? They thought that they could use a fraudulent, obedient movement and push their way and push a Yoruba man and then allow Igbo man, because that is the ethnic card that played out during the election. It was all about the Yoruba, the Hausa, and the Igbos. Eventually, somebody must cave in. But the North wanted to double play the game. They knew that the Yorubas and the Igbos are two enemies that doesn't like to see each other. So they now went further. And part of the crime that Peter Obi came out, Britain is aware of that. Britain knew, because they gave the go-ahead for Peter Obi to pull out for PDP and go and set up his own movement, so that they can also destroy the Biafra campaign. You think the West are stupid? They are the manipulator, like Maradona. The West are the manipulator that destroyed Africa in 1884. And when you look at the history today, you realize that they changed the borderline. So when some of you say that we should leave Tinubu alone, you're looking for evidence. Go and ask Obama to give you evidence. At least, you see well-educated people, they're looking for evidence. You are looking for evidence. I told you, go on my website. You'll find evidence there and stop disturbing us here. You're looking for evidence. Britain rigged the first election in 1959. What we got in 1957-58 in Lancaster House was destroyed because every coup that happened in Nigeria, Britain knows about it. America knows about it. I've done a lot of videos about that, so you might have to go back. You are just new. You have to go back and watch a lot of that. We were told by this country, by Tony Blair, that Saddam Hussein has a chemical weapon. Can you ask Tony Blair the same question if Saddam Hussein truly have a chemical weapon? But he was told that that is what they were told as at that time, and eventually Saddam Hussein was killed. Thanks for the super chat. Let us talk about the future of the Yoruba people. The future is no longer in Nigeria. If you are still one of those thinking that you will protect the integrated or territorial ground of Nigeria, we would educate more Yoruba people and prepare their mind so that we can pull out together from Nigeria. It will happen. It will happen. And it is just a matter of time. And that time is getting closer on a daily basis. The 1914 amalgamation was never meant to be. The joining of the two protectorates, which is known as the Southern Protectorate and the Northern Protectorate. The Southern Protectorate were making money. Britain was losing money from the Northern Protectorate. They decided to pull it together. So the first thing foremost is we should talk about the 1914 amalgamation. I am not interested in what happened, with Angurusi and all that. All that, I don't care. I'm not interested in that. I am more interested in what led to the amalgamation, because whatever led to the amalgamation is the same fraud that led to what happened in the 1960, 1970 that most of you talked about. Why are you talking about 1967 when we should be talking about 1914 amalgamation? Because if Britain did not amalgamate Nigeria, we are not likely to come across the line with the Igbo people or the Hausa people in the first place. Never. Our part is not meant to be. UK knows that. But yet, they went ahead and created this, and you expect that whatever was created by Britain, we should forget about that, then start talking about from 1960. No, we should not. We should pick it from the 1914. What led to the 1914 amalgamation? When Iweleru in Ondo State, the score, Iweleru is 13,000 years older than Nigeria. Oh, we are being, you see, we are gonna deal with some people, and I'm trying to but I'm trying to just look on Shenuko, because I was gonna say some bomb bastard people that are saying that we should move forward. So you should move forward. Why not relocate your family back to Nigeria rather than live in this country? You see where we're gonna have issue with some Yoruba bomb bastard that are telling us that we should move forward by giving my identity because Britain created Nigeria. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? We can move forward. Unbelievable that a Yoruba man is saying that we should move forward. We should move forward. Oh, Britain has helped us create Nigeria. Hey, hallelujah, in Jesus' name. Move forward, and that is it. Wow. Mad people all over the place. Bomb bastard. Can you imagine that? Bomb bastard. Because tell you about bomb bastard ni òun sọ fún wa pé ìran tèmi tó ju Nàìjíríà lọ ká move forward torí pé bàbá tiẹ̀ ń jẹ níbẹ̀ àbí bàbá ò jẹ níbẹ̀. Damn, you can see that a máa jagun ni o, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà láta, a máa jagun. I've told you 72 hours I will be on the ground to be part of it. Tá a bá jagun ní bọ́ torí tẹ́ bá ń dúró de ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn wèrè tó wà labroad tí wọ́n ti sán lórí àtàwọn wèrè tó wà Nàìjíríà tó ń sọ fún yín pé we should move forward. How can a Yoruba man say we should move forward? Can you imagine that? We should move forward from what we were told lies. That even we were told lies that River Niger was founded by Mungo Park. Did you see why we have a lot of problems? Not that they are not educated. People that I'm talking to, they know what I'm talking about. When we're educated, because they can understand that I have a point, but they are saying, oh, you see now, their own argument now is, oh, let us move forward. Let us leave all these issues. Oh, we are Yoruba people. We hate each other. We can't live together. We are fighting. Okay, yes, leave us like that. British Oyinbo people, and I don't like using white because my mom doesn't like that word. So I tend to use Oyinbo people. Oyinbo people, they fight each other in this country. They don't like each other. The Scottish don't like the English. Wọ́n hate ara wọn bí ìgbẹ́. Scottish people, àwọn Irish hotel like English. They can wọ́n lè fojú kanra wọn báyìí, wọ́n máa ń jà ní. Àwọn Irish. So you are saying now that, oh, because our Yoruba man that for that reason we should not ask for Yoruba nation. We should live in Nigeria. We can build Nigeria. The Nigeria that your forefathers did not build, it is you that will come and build it, because you are probably studying master degree, or you are probably part of those waiting to become the next 419 politician that are called bomb bastard. They are not ignorant. These are intelligent people that are listening to us. They are not ignorant, but what they are saying is that because they don't have the same balls like some of us, because you can see that somebody is saying that, oh, Interpol is going to be looking for me. Oh. So out of all the criminals, there's gun running in this country. There's a lot of cocaine in this country. There are terrorists trying to kill people in this country. So, well, that one, yeah, people like me is what Interpol will be looking for. You can see that we are dealing with people that have mental problems sometimes. This, I just told you in Scotland, just some few minutes ago, there's somebody that was stabbed. There's so many criminals that are operating in this country. Last year, was it last year, if not early this year, a woman was killed in Acne. All these young boys that are moving with guns, especially some of them are black children. We hope that some of you will wake up to your own understanding. So out of all the crime, in 2006, I don't know how long this man has lived in this country. I live here when terrorists killed innocent people because of the negligence of security. So what we are discussing is not what they're looking for. What they are looking for are pedophiles, people that are committing crime, people that wants to make sure that this country goes down. I don't want this country to go down, but I will make sure Nigeria go down. If that is going to affect this country, good luck to them. Because they created the system that has forced our forefathers to come and be taken away as slaves, which evidence has been as well. So let me say, Yoruba people, it is time that you wake up from your slumber. We have slept for too long. Agbodo dìde, àsìkò tá gbọ́dọ̀ dìde tán lélẹ̀. Àsìkò yóò ń ṣàsìkò kò kàn mí, kò sí nǹkan tó kàn mí ní nǹkan tó ń lọ nílé. Ọmọ, ó kan èmi, ó kan ìwọ. Àwọn olórí burúkú olóṣèlú tí mo sọ pé gbogbo ohun tẹ́ ẹ ní la máa destroy, ó kù díẹ̀ ni. 5 years ni wọ́n fi jà nílùú yìí, from 1861, 1862, 63, 64, 65. For 5 years ni wọ́n fi jà. For 5 years. 5 years tó fi jà yẹn was because of unemployment, was because of poverty. Properties were destroyed for 5 years in this country. It's called the Bread and Riots in 1861. Nobody is going to save you. Olórí burúkú ni British system to create in Nigeria. Àwọn ló dá wàhálà sílẹ̀. Àwọn tó dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ nísìn, wọ́n sá sẹ́yìn. Wọ́n ní kò kàn àwọn mọ́. Wọ́n ní ká lọ yanjú ẹ̀. A dẹ̀ máa yanjú ẹ̀ through a peaceful dialogue way or through whatever means that is available in this dispensation. But those of you that are believing in Bola Tinubu government, oh yes, he can do whatever he wants to do. Buhari did worst, and nobody said anything. Buhari did worst. Buhari. So whatever Tinubu is doing right now, let him enjoy the tenure to one event. But in the long run, Ọlọ́run má yẹ kí gbogbo akábàámọ̀ pé Tinubu wà níbẹ̀. Let him start knocking the doors and saying to the international community, the Yoruba people needs to go. The Igbo people needs to go. The Hausa people, these are the three major ethnic indigenous people. Let everybody go their separate ways. It has been done before. It can still be repeated today. It has been done before, and it can still be done again. Yugoslavia dissolved in 1992. Ilé ayé ò parẹ́ o. The world is still existing. Soviet Union dissolved. The war did not come to an end. Even Joe Biden is saying now that there must be two states. The Palestinian state must come in place. Joe Biden said something last week. The video is there out in the public domain. Joe Biden is saying, people, there has to be an independent Palestine state. Mokia must be. So if anybody thinking that Yoruba tó ń pariwo lẹ́ni pé a fẹ́ dá dúró, lọ gbẹ́nu sáwọn kò lè possible, lè ṣe kankan. Vietnam, on the 2nd of September 1945, declared their independence. France attacked them a year after. But today, Vietnam is now a country that every country around the world wants to have a cordial relationship with, including America. Vietnam, a population less than 92 million with their own language. According to the OEC, historical data, in 2022, Vietnam exports $300 and something billion as against the crazy country, Olori Buruku country, Nigeria, that only sold 72 billion. Out of that 72 billion, crude oil gave us about 56 or 54 billion. Nilati were concerned about whatever the Igbo wants to get. Whatever we want to get has nothing to do with them. Let us focus on our own. Whatever they want to call it. We are not likely to call it Oduduwa Kingdom, Yoruba Kingdom, but for now it is just a term that we are using called Yoruba Nation. So I won't worry too much about whether the Igbo call it Igbo Nation, Indigo, whatever. It's just because we don't like them and we know that. And we don't have to hide it. They don't like us, we don't like them. We hate each other, but on what they are saying that they want to go, let them go. And those that are playing their round saying that they're obedient, you are wasting your time. You will never get an Igbo president. It's a fact. I would love them to be a president, but nobody's going to give them the opportunity to become president. Mukiyawa Bosede. So if anybody is hoping that one day, as if Nigeria continue, that Igbo will become president, you'll be fooling yourself. Kò sí ibi kankan tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Igbo jẹ́ president. The North cannot hold on to them. The Yoruba cannot trust them. Nobody trusts them. So that is the reason why we can never be one. Larry Lamina ni Oloshi person, move forward my foot. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Mo kí Mr. Olamilekan Olúṣẹ́sí. So if anybody thinks that, bẹ́ẹ̀ni Mr. Waris Jinadu, England Civil War, World War I and II was violent in question mark. If they don't want violence, then we start discussing on the round table. But if anybody just say, kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe, kàn pariwo lórí social media ni, mo ti gbọ́ ni máa sọ. Wọ́n ní tá máa ṣe kó wà lábẹ́ ẹkùn wa. Bí ẹ máa gé ikùn mi láti gbé sínú x-ray, ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ tá a máa ṣe bomb bastard bí ẹ máa wọnú okùn mi ṣé máa wọnú okùn mi àbí ṣé máa wọnú okùn mi tẹ́ máa mọ̀ tí máa ṣe mò ń bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ là ń pariwo tá a máa ṣe nígbà tí mo sọ fún yín pé ká má dìbò ní 2023 èèyàn máa lè ẹ̀yin bomb bastard ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fi mí rẹ́rìn ni ìyá alájà ṣe fáàmù kí dìbò ní 2023 pé ká sá fún ìbò mo kí bàbá mi Àdìsá ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gan ni mo ní ká má dìbò ní 2023 mo ní no election ẹni irọ́ ni mò ń pa mo kí ẹ Gani Olóyèdè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ti dìbò tán nísìn ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ti dìbò tán nísìn ẹ ti vote now so why all this lamentation that you don't have good government ṣé wọ́n sọ fún pé good government máa wá tẹ́lẹ̀ ni PDP destroyed Nigeria for 16 years 16 years ni PDP fi run government what is the outcome out of that 16 years ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn olórí burúkú tó ní ṣàǹfààní àwọn bomb bastard olùsí politicians wa láti 1999 ẹni kọ́ wá fún wa ní ọ́dìtì èèlò ni wọ́n gbà kí ló dé tí wọ́n fix ilẹ̀ Yorùbá fún wa àwọn olùsí àwọn bomb bastard àwọn tó gun wa wọlé pa gbogbo ilẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan láti 1999 ẹni kọ́ wá ọ́dìtì ilẹ̀ Yorùbá owó tó gbà lọ́wọ́ federal government ẹni kọ́ wá bá wa ọ́dìtẹ̀ àfẹ́mọ́ èlò gangan ló wọlé tí ẹ fi rí títì ṣe tá a fi rí iná tá a fi rí nǹkan tó jẹ́ kí ilé ayé èèyàn fi gbé ìgbésí ayé tó dáa ẹni kọ́ wá sọ fún wa èèyàn kan jókòó sí Europe àwọn olùṣe lórí burúkú ẹ̀yin bomb bastard ẹ jókòó sí Europe ẹ ń sọ fún wa pé n tá à ń ṣe violence ni àbí kò fi da fún bàbá tó bí yín ni bàbá tó bí yín ó fi ṣánkú mọ́ yín ni wọ́n wọlé lọ kó àwọn 300 people ṣé àwa la wọlé lọ kó wọn ṣé èmi ni mo ní kọ́ lọ kó àwọn èèyàn ní Kaduna bomb bastard nírí yẹn come on the social media torí ẹ lè kàn òyìnbó díẹ̀ ṣúkúṣúkú òyìnbó ló fi ṣe èpè ní máa fún yín nísìn kí tó máa lọ abẹ́ ti yá wèrè ni Benue State níjẹta wọ́n pa over 60 people ẹ̀yin olóṣì jáde kẹ́ sọ pé Koiki àwọn tó ń pa yẹn kí ló dé tó ń pa wọ́n èmi wá sọ̀rọ̀ níṣẹ́ ní mò ń ṣe violent bàbá yín ò ní kú rè ni mo sọ kí ni Britain fi wá gbalẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ ṣé nígbà tí Britain dé ṣé welcome kó tó di pé wọ́n gbébọn sí wa létí pẹ̀lú àwọn bàbá wa níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn tẹ́lẹ̀ kọ́ gba ṣínà ẹ lọ sí Liverpool Museum kẹ́ lọ wo tó gbà wọ́n mírọ̀ lẹ́lòmíì lọ́ fi kó ẹrú lọ ẹ wá náà wà ń ṣe violent ní sóríire gbogbo yín pátápátá ogun máa wọlé pa yín ni ẹ̀rẹ́ mi ṣe violent ogun máa wọlé pa yín lẹ́yẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan ni èmi lèmi ṣe violent nígbà tí Britain dé tó gbé ìbọn sí wa létí tó pa àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ṣe violent tó create Nigeria èmi wá ń sọ nísìn pé ká bring Nigeria down èmi lèmi wá ń ṣe violent nísìn ogun máa wọlé pa yín lẹ́yẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan ni bomb bastard ní gbogbo yín sẹ́ bomb bastard ní gbogbo yín bomb bastard ní gbogbo yín ẹni tó bá kàn nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ dénúlé ẹ̀ kò tún mu tíìsì kò fi tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ ní sóríire àwa lẹ́ ń rí nísìn Fúlàní wọlé wọ́n ń pààyàn rí wọn as violent àbórí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ò pè ní sórí yóò pè wọ́n wọlé pààyàn ẹ lọ gbọ́ Kọ́kọ́rọ́ Alátẹ brọ́dà mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Oríyọmí Hamzat gẹ́ọ̀ yẹn bó ṣe sọ pé ọmọ Yorùbá lóun bá ó ní wọ́n yìnbọn pa lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni ìta máa ṣe abẹ́kùn wa ló wà ó kù díẹ̀ nìbọn ró Gani Olóyèdè ni British came to our place with weapons and take our fathers away as slaves olùsíyàn ò rí yẹn Church of England ó accept nísìn pé ká má bínú ká gba 100 million wọ́n ní kó fún wa ní 1 billion àwọn tó ń jàjà yẹn wọ́n ní 100 million were enough Church of England ní ká má bínú owó gbà má bínú èèyàn kan wá jókòó sínú ilé yín torí ẹ̀yin níná àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ń pè mí lánàá pé oṣù mẹ́ta wọn ò níná nítorí pé olórí burúkú àwọn olóṣèlú wa gbogbo owó tó kó fún wọn wọ́n ti ná jẹ fi ṣe development Scotland ní iná wọ́n lómi wọ́n ń béèrè fẹ́tọ̀ wọn olùṣọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá kan sọ fẹ́ mi pé kí ló dé kémi ń béèrè fẹ́tọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá kémi move forward ṣe rí pé a ti wà ní bomb bastard ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn Scottish people wọ́n ní gbogbo nǹkan tó wọ́n níná wọ́n lómi education system wọn ó yàtọ̀ sí ti England tèmi ń gbé. Scotland ló ń pè mí tí Mayegun wà, ẹ ṣáà máa ń gbọ́ Mayegun general. Ibi tó wà yẹn àti ibi tọ́mọ tèmi wà tó bá jọ lọ sí school, ọmọ tèmi níbí báyìí ó ní system ti education ẹ̀ máa fi ṣiṣẹ́ ó yàtọ̀ sí ti Mayegun. Wọ́n ní gbogbo nǹkan wọ́n sì ń béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ wọn. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú kan náà lèmi àti Mayegun, we are from the same state, Ogun state kan náà ni wà. Àwa wà labroad, àwa ń gbádùn, àwa ń sọ fún ẹ̀tẹ̀ wà nílé bẹ́ẹ̀ ń jẹ́yà, ẹ wá ní àwa la ní problem, kò ní da fún bàbá ẹ̀. Ṣé èmi ni mo ní problem? Ẹ wá ní ká ṣe kí ni? Kò ní da fún bàbá ẹ̀ ní sọ. Dumb bastard, ẹ̀yàn máàlì. Ìyá jẹ́ ṣégè sí ká tó débi tá à ń lọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, everything are decentralized in UK. Scotland ní parliament tiwọn. Wọ́n ní parliament tiwọn. Wales ní parliament. Wales ìlú tóòtó Ọ̀ṣun state. Tó bá fẹ́ lọ gbá tournament, wá lọ on 3 country. Wales á lọ, Scotland á lọ, England á lọ. Tí Nàìjíríà bá fẹ́ lọ, wá kó gbogbo ẹ̀yà tó gbẹ́dì ara wọn, wá kó wa sórí pitch, wá gbé wa lọ as one block. Ó kù díẹ̀ nìbọn ró. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé, ẹ ti gbọ́ lára àwọn diaspora lélẹ̀ tó sọ̀rọ̀ látẹ̀kan yẹn o. Wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o, wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Àwọn diaspora wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn diaspora lẹ́ ń gbọ́ yẹn tán ní kọ́mọ Yorùbá, mo gbọ́ rẹ̀ rí, mo tún jẹ́ gbọ́ yẹn lénìí, kọ́mọ Yorùbá move forward. So ká fi ìtàn tá à ń gbọ́ nípa ìran wa, ìran tó ti ń bẹ before 500 years. Àwa Ìjẹ̀bú ti ní city kó tó di pé àwọn Portuguese exploration dé, ìyẹn lọ ní ká gbàgbé. A ní war tiwa tójú ti China war lọ, ó wà ní Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ń bẹ lógùn state, torí pé a modernize ẹ̀, a sọ di nǹkan táwọn èèyàn máa wá wò. Okay, mo tẹ̀ tún rántí àwọn Northern Irish, mo tún gbàgbé àwọn yẹn. Britain oní kọ́nikọ́ni, Britain 419, Britain olè, wọ́n kúrò lára EU, wọ́n wá fẹ́ gba backdoor wọlé láti ọ̀dọ̀ Northern Ireland, máa fi gbẹ́rù lọ sí European country. Àwọn yẹn wá ní kò lè possible, torí pé ẹ̀yin lẹ dá ìrìn àjò European country rú. Gbogbo ìgbà tó ń ṣe EU, Britain nìkan ni kò change owó tiẹ̀. Igi tó ń da gbogbo ẹ̀rú òun ni wọ́n. Ó kù díẹ̀ until tí orí gbogbo wa bá reset. Bọ̀ sórí wọ́n tó wọlé, ara àwọn tó wà láàbù púpọ̀ nú wọn kọ́ ló máa jà fún ẹ o. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi ti pè mí bọ́ ṣe ń polóyè náà, wọ́n náà wọ́n mọ problem tí mo ní. Ibi báyìí ló ń gbé pẹ̀lú àtìyàwó ẹ, máa gbádùn ayé ẹ lọ, fọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. The same thing tó ń sọ fún lóyè ló ń sọ fáwa náà. Pàdé mi kan tẹ̀ máa ń bínú, kò bá a sọ̀rọ̀ for some time nísìn. Ó lè lọ Nàìjíríà for 3 days. A kò ṣe fàájì lọ, á dẹ̀ padà wá. NHS ló ń bá ṣiṣẹ́. Tó bá lọ Nàìjíríà, á jẹ ayé arí ẹ̀, á gbé àwọn ọmọge, kò tí ì máa rí. Á ṣayé, á dẹ̀ padà sí bíbà. Allen Conde mo rí ẹ tó jọ́ mẹ́ta. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ brother mi. Allen Conde bá wà mí, mo rò pé wà mí látẹ̀ nǹkan ṣá. Allen Conde mo rírú ẹ̀rí yẹn kan ní ká move forward, wọ́n ní ká gbàgbé Yorùbá nation, ká keep Nigeria, ká move forward. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But ó kù díẹ̀ nìbọn ró. But sórí ìwọ tó wà ń lé, èmi sọ fún ẹ pé èmi ò lè sọ, sórí èmi ò lè guarantee Odùduwà gan brother mi àtàwọn kankan. But èmi ò, iṣẹ́ ni mo mọ̀ kí la máa ṣe sí iṣẹ́ náà là ń ṣe bí kúrú, iṣẹ́ kan làwọn náà ń ṣe báyìí. Àwọn kan ní Koiki wọnú ilé, mo ti dírà, mo wọ gbogbo nǹkan sára. But normally kò ń ṣe pé torí mo wà níta ní cold, tí bá wọlé nísìn máa mu tíì, tí bá ṣiṣẹ́ níta ńkọ́. Àwọn kan ṣe security ẹ pé ta ló máa dúró sí. A dẹ̀ tí ṣe ju 1 hour 30 minutes lọ, but kò ní tó 2 hours. 2 hours I'll bring the program to an end. We are not here to, we cannot be civil. Ẹ má máa béèrè gbogbo òyìnbó jágbajàgba yẹn civil ń bolẹ̀ tí wá civil. Britain wá sọ́dọ̀ wa ṣáwà civil ní àwọn olùṣọ́ lórí burúkú. Brother mi Timothy káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ṣẹ́rá àtàwà lẹ́ abroad. Mo understand wa. Civil. Koiki, let us be civil. ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ dàbí àwọn olórí burúkú European country tó ń sọ fáwọn pé climate change kò sí nǹkan kan tó kan Africa pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ climate lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí 419 ni. Mo kí láti Canada ọ̀dọ́ yìí yẹn tutù díẹ̀ Allen Kondi wàláì tó bá wà mẹ́ látàárọ̀ wá ti jà wàláì wá ti jà ká wà civil. Koiki try láti wà civil now yé máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí àwọn ọmọ ọ̀tá yé máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí àwọn ọmọ onímọ́tò ká wà civil. Bomb bastard bombo clap ká wà civil. ká wà civil. Mad people all over the place. 30,000 innocent lives ló ti pa ní Palestine. Wọ́n ṣe wà civil. We are all living in denial. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Kò sí ẹnì kankan tó ń bọ̀ wá free anybody o. We have to free ourselves. We gotta free ourselves from the shackles. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àròlé mo ti sọ wọ́n sọ nínú program mo mọ̀ bí ẹ̀ tí mo ṣe ní ìdájí program ìkẹta ni mo ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ báyìí nísìn kọ́lọ́n kó ṣàánú wa. Mo ní ọmọlúàbí wa ẹja kọ́kọ́ gbèsè ẹgbẹ́ kan náà ká bọ́ṣọ mọ́ ọlọ́àbí dànù tá bá wá parí gbogbo wàhálà tá à ń fà yìí àwa wọ ẹ̀wù ọmọlúàbí wa àwa ríra wa àdọ̀bálẹ̀ àkíra wa. Allen Kondi ni those idiots telling us to forget our nation are criminals. London mẹ́ẹ̀mà lẹ́ni ẹ̀ wà Allen Kondi mo rí rẹ́rì but it's okay I can understand. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ọmọlúàbí sẹ́gbẹ́ kan. Mo sọ fún yín màá ṣe ẹ jẹ́ n parí síríìsì Vietnam tí mo ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Bàbá mi Adéọ̀ṣun bàbá tó Adéọ̀ṣun yìí fóònù wọn problem tó wà lára fóònù wọn lọ́nà wọn bọ́ ṣe ń gbọ́ mi gan báyìí nísìn. Èèyàn kan wà ní UK ó mà ní kẹ́ gbàgbé Yorùbá nation pé ká kíìpù Nàìjíríà ọlọ́wọ́ ẹ̀kẹ́ ni ìgbé pè lọ níbi ìwà ilé mi ká gbàgbé Yorùbá nation. Ṣẹ́rí kìíní tẹ̀ ń wò yìí orí olókùn sculpture ni kò mean anything it's just a sculpture ó wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá Britain. Àwọn ọmọ àlè Yorùbá nìyẹn ìyá mi Abọ́sẹ̀dé wàláì. So ó wà lọ́wọ́ Britain 1,000 years ní kínní 1,000 years old kínní tá à ń wò yìí àwọn tó build ẹ̀ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn kí ni ká ṣe pẹ̀lú wọn àwọn tó build ẹ̀ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ká sọ pé a ti gbàgbé ìtàn wa ẹ má bínú ó wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá nísìn mo kọ lẹ́tà sọlọ́pàá. So ìdí tí a ṣe ní gbọ́ra wa yé Ìgbò Haúsá Yorùbá a ní ever gbọ́ra wa yé láyé until tá bá kúrò nínú shit hole country tí òyìnbó amúnisìn kó wa sínú ẹ̀. And we are just about 10 minutes away to the end of the program. Òyìnbó amúnisìn ni wọ́n ní gold àwọn ló ní the biggest gold reserve. Mr. Adesan ni very crazy person why we gonna forget Yoruba nation. Wọ́n ní ká keep Nigeria ni wọ́n ní ká save Nigeria your ass. Nigeria tó ti di Titanic tó ti sink. Nigeria tó ti di Titanic ká gbàgbé ìran wa tó ra fẹ́ save Nigeria. Àwọn tó build kìíní ní 1,000 years ago ṣe so ká wá torí pé a fẹ́ keep Nigeria ṣe eléyìí ò ju Nigeria lọ 1,000 years ago ní kìíní tẹ̀ rí ó wà lọ́wọ́ ìkan náà wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá ní UK bíbá wọ́n seize ẹ̀ mo ti ṣe program lé lórí. So before going into the final conclusion ìyá mi Sarah ni White Lion wọ́n máa wà okay when they feel the hot heat ènìyàn sí Nàìjíríà kò London ló wà oúnjẹ ayé orí ẹ̀ ẹ má ká ṣe pé fún ọ púpọ̀ but bomb bastard ni wọ́n má ṣe mo rò pa ṣe mo sọ fún pé there are many people tó mọ̀ tó ń lọ Nàìjíríà because Channels News nìkan ló máa gbọ́ wà lè gbọ́ AIT wà lè gbọ́ Arise ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ ní time atrocity tó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni ní ẹ lọ gbọ́ àsárídòkúbọ̀ tí a tẹ̀rò pé èèyàn Tinubu ni, ẹ lọ gbọ́ fídíò tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ nísìn. Ó ní àwọn jihadis wọ́n fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ kí gbogbo wa ká lọ before ká prepare. Èèyàn kan sọ pé ká forget. Unbelievable. But I can understand. Mr. Larry ni, how far has civil gotten us so far? Lẹ́ǹkankan a máa ríro àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa pop up, but a máa ṣàlàyé fún wọn náà ni. Àwọn ní wà civil o. In tó bá mú àwà civil ni pé kí Tinubu kó pè wá, kó pe àwọn èèyàn wa, kí wọ́n jọ jókòó, ká decide ọ̀nà tó máa gbà tá máa fi lọ ní kò ní síjà, tí kò ní sí wàhálà. Ìyẹn possible, ìyẹn là ń pè civil. But tí kò bá ti possible bẹ́ẹ̀, then whatever happens is going to happen. Àsárídòkúbọ̀ ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fídíò kan. Ó ní wọ́n ń wọlé. Buhari eventually opened Yoruba land. Buhari, olórí burúkú ẹ̀, bomb bastard, dead or alive, left us in this predicament because ó invite gbogbo Fúlàní tó ń bẹ ní gbogbo Africa, ó ní ká máa bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, ó náyè gbà wọ́n. Èmọ̀ tí wàá wọ̀ lù báyìí, àwa rí solution sí. But solution ti ń dé torí pé a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn ọba wa, àwọn orí adé, wọ́n ti dìde. Wọ́n ní kí ló dé? Àgbẹ̀ ò lè lọ sóko, nǹkan kan ṣiṣẹ́, everything is on standstill. But enough is enough. A máa wọnú igbó tẹ̀lé yín, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ nínú igbó wa tẹ́ ń ṣe jàǹbá, a flushing out. Again, somebody asked, ṣé dandan ni pé ká wà together? Is it by force pé ká wà together? No. Tá bá dẹ̀ máa wà together, on what condition? On what condition? They created a crafty country called Nigeria. They gave us a badge, green, white, green. Oh yeah, read the national anthem. Arise, O compatriot. We learn it. We become a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We march left, right, only for us to now realize that, who created Nigeria? What is the purpose of the creation of Nigeria? That question is what people are running away from. The real question, everybody is running away, and they are now telling us, oh, let's move Nigeria forward. Your father did not move Nigeria forward. It is you that will move Nigeria forward. Nigeria will be brought down through anarchy, peace, war, or violence. It is either, because already there's violence in Nigeria, because on Thursday, 300 people were kidnapped. That is violence. Weary. Can you imagine? Hey, mo kí Mr. Yusuf, mo rí pé picture olóyè lẹ gbé sí inú kíní Ọlọ́run bá wà pẹ̀lú yín. Bá mi nìyẹn, Ìgbòho ṣá. 300 children were kidnapped, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 300 in a country that has military, in a country that have air force, in a country that have police, in a country that have DSS, and they move 300 students out of the school premises. Can that happen in UK? Bami Boboye ni, Nigeria cannot move forward because Nigeria is dead. It's more than dead. 300 children. Some of them eventually, tẹ́rọ bá pọ̀, àwọn kan yá dànù. 300. This is on Thursday. This is not last year. Bí ẹ̀yàn gbọ́ news tó ń lọ. What country? Nobody has a country because Nigeria is not a country. It was never a country, and it will not be a country. Koiki, I called Oloye Igboho Iberu now. Oloye will be coming to London again very soon. We'll let you know when the time comes. The work is in process. Yeah, I've been following 80. It's going through a lot now at the moment. The world is changing, and I'm happy because nobody has monopoly to violence. That is what the world is today. If you think that you have monopoly to violence, you don't have it. So that is the reason why every one of us must say enough is enough. If you are waiting for United Nations is a bomb bastard organization that is not going to do anything. They don't have the balls anymore. If you're waiting for a European country, bomb bastard. If you're waiting for African Union, bomb bastard. If you're waiting for anybody, nobody is going to free us. We will free ourselves, and then we will force them to take our own decision. It's as simple as that. So we're going to end the program. I hope you've taken one or two things, as we continue to go about our different ways this afternoon. Koiki, please let me know when Igboho is coming. That will be a special announcement. It's not going to be hidden. Igboho is not a criminal. He's coming to London, but I'll let you know when the time comes. Mr. AY Brand, if now I'm blocking you, you keep pushing the same message all the time. Anonymous, let them say it. They've said a lot, Igboho ma wá sí Nigeria. Igboho ma wá sí Nigeria. Ṣáyìn ni ẹ̀yin lẹ máa sọ pé ma wá sí Nigeria. Igboho àti ríran sí ẹ, àríran sí ẹ, má wá Nigeria o, má wá Nigeria o. Àwa ọmọ babaláwo, àwa tá ti gbé fá kalẹ̀. Ó yá Ifá sọ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ fún wa. Agbéfá síta. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, confirm ọmọ Yorùbá lèmi. Mo gbé babaláwo dìde, ó yá ẹ bá mi tẹfá, kí ni Ifá ń sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho. Ẹ wá sí Nàìjíríà. Ìwọ ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó tẹ̀lé Ìgbòho. Ó rí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó tẹ̀lé Ìgbòho. Ìgbòho ní kọ́kọ́, gbogbo wa ní Ìgbòho. Má wá sí Nàìjíríà. Koiki ẹ sọ fún Ìgbòho kó má àwọn ọlọ́tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìn. Ẹ sọ fún Ìgbòho kó má gbé ní Ìgbòho. Má wá Nàìjíríà. Ìgbòho má lọ Nàìjíríà o. Ìgbòho má lọ Nàìjíríà o. Ẹkùn fún rẹ̀. Monégún wà nínú balẹ̀. Èbí báyìí mo ti sọ fún yín nígbà yẹn. Àbẹ́ ti gbàgbé program yẹn. Kóòdù ni mo fi sọ fún yín. Òun ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìn. Koiki Anonymous ti sọ̀rọ̀ o. Sọ fún Ìgbòho kó sá kúrò ní Nàìjíríà o. Number 1 kò sínú Nàìjíríà anyway. Ìgbòho wà pẹ̀lú àwọn fámìlì ẹ̀. Àlàáfíà rẹ̀ ló wà. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹ́yìn nísìn. Elédùmarè ó ń bẹ pẹ̀lú Ìgbòho. Àwọn onílẹ̀ wọ́n ń bẹ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Wọn ò ní fi sílẹ̀ ní ìjọ kan. Mo ń bá àfáà kan sọ̀rọ̀ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Ó ní tí Ọlọ́run fi yọ kúrò nínú ilé níjọ́ yẹn. Ó ní Ọlọ́run ló lẹ̀mí ẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan kan tẹ́nì kankan lè ṣe. Àfáà ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Ìbọn bastard. Mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta làwa ń ṣe ìbọn ọmọ babaláwo lè mi. Ẹ gbìyànjú. Mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń try. Àwọn náà dúró. Owó ló máa jẹ kò ní jẹ àgbàdo. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sọ fún yín. Owó ló máa jẹ kò ní jẹ àgbàdo. Ní ọ̀nà ìtàgbé dání spiritual yẹn. A máa bá wa ta tán délẹ̀. Ẹ túbọ̀ máa sá wọlé. Àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan míì ni mò ń ṣe lẹ́yìn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìrìnàjò yìí nìkan ló máa wọlé. Ẹ gbìyànjú. Mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń wò mí. In tí bàbá mi máa jẹ lójoojúmọ́ ní ẹbọ ní ètùtù mo fẹ́ sí níbi tó wà lọ́hùn. Wọ́n rẹ̀ ní òkú ọ̀run ò kì í sùn. Tó bá sùn máa jí. Màá ránṣẹ́ sí bàbá tó bí mi, màá ránṣẹ́ sí padà, màá ní kó bá pe orí ẹ̀ á dìde ẹ̀ ní kúure bomb bastard ní. Mo ní táwọn bá yín fà yìí, èmi ni last man standing fún yín. Ifá ń sọ fún mi, wọ́n ránṣẹ́ sí mi padà, gbogbo tẹ́ ń ṣe túbọ̀ máa ṣe. Ẹnu ẹ̀ ní gbogbo àjọ wà yẹn. Ọmọ Yorùbá kan náà ni gbogbo wa. Lórí ìrìn àjò yìí, màá sọ fún yín pé confam ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí, màá ná ṣégi o. Tó bá jẹ́ last penny mi màá ná. Ẹ túbọ̀ máa sà á. ẹni mi ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ fẹ́ shut ẹnu mi down ẹ túbọ̀ máa sà á màá sọ fún yín pé confam ọmọ kíní kan mi pẹ̀lú Jésù àtànábì màá sọ fún yín pé ọmọ Yorùbá confam mi màá máa ránṣẹ́ sí bàbá mi níbi tó wà lóko ọ̀run kò ní sùn tó bá sùn màá ní kó bá mi jí padà àtàtán bẹ́ẹ̀ nínáwó màá sọ fún yín pé ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ni mí ní kọ́tàjọ gbé dání mo ní Ìjẹ̀bú Òde gangan ẹ lọ wo ohun tá a ṣe fún Britain èèyàn kan wá síbẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ká keep Nigeria kò ní da fún bàbá tó bí ẹ ìwọ tó sọdún sẹ́ǹsì yẹn mo kún ẹ ní látẹ̀ nǹkan ni ẹ born bastard ọmọ Yorùbá ní ìwà àbọ̀mọ Fúlàní kò ní da fáwọn tó bí ẹ ìyá ń jẹ àwọn ọ̀ràn tiẹ̀ ojókòó sí Sheffield ó ń sọ jágbajàgba lẹ́nu ó rò pé mò ń wẹ́rò ní bíbá ni mo ní kò ní da fáwọn bàbá tó bí ẹ oníkẹ́mi wà civil ṣé Britain wà civil nígbà tó kó wa lẹ́rú born bastard ẹ jókòó sí Sheffield tó bá dúró ẹ lójú pàdé mi ní London kájọ pàdé èrò pé mi ń bẹ̀rù anybody ẹ ṣí èrè iná àbáyín fà kékeré lẹ pè ojú tèmi lélẹ̀ èmi ò ń ṣàwọn ààrẹ karùn-ún wí olórí burúkú tí Yorùbá force kí àmọ́bi tí gbójú ẹ̀sìn Kóìkì lèmi jẹ́ màá sọ fún yín pọ́mọ Yorùbá ni mí màá náwó fàáfàá màá náwó fún babaláwo màá náwó fún church mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta lèmi ṣe àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan mí ni mo gbé dání lẹ́ ń ṣe jàǹbá fún wa pé ká má bàa rí ọ̀nà kọjá ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà yìí ẹ túbọ̀ máa ṣe Ifá ń sọ mẹ́sẹ̀jì fún mi padà àjọ wà lẹ́nu ẹni ó yá àwọn tí mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá kan náà ni gbogbo wa ẹ̀yin ń sa wàhálà lórí nǹkan táwa gbé dání ẹ̀ ń ránṣẹ́ ó kù díẹ̀ kò ní da fún support ẹ̀ ta ló ní di support yìí born bastard yeah my son mo bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ni mo ń bọ̀ I'm coming now mo ń bọ̀ wá fún ẹ lówó ọwọ́ Òdùwà ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú kò mọ̀jọ owó lọ ó kù díẹ̀ nìbọn rú má bá ẹ ta tán in tó bá nídìí ògùn màá ní kọ́ gbọ́ in tó bá nídìí ìṣọ̀pọ̀nà màá ní kọ́ máa ránṣẹ́ sí padà ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà ẹ̀ ń wò mí lórí program ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ mo kí ẹ̀yin ọmọ Òdùwà ẹ lọ dúró dáadáa ọmọ Yorùbá lọ dúró dáadáa especially ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ pé àyè kí torí pé ìtagbédání bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ràn wá àrùn padà sí yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún yín Alhaji Koiki kò ní sùn lọ́rùn màá máa ránṣẹ́ sí lójoojúmọ́ màá ní kọ́ bá mi máa ránṣẹ́ sí lójoojúmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wa ẹ ṣí èrè ká kíìpù Nàìjíríà bàbá ẹ ló máa kíìpù Nàìjíríà bombas èmi ò need láti block anybody mọ́ orí you don't need the support ta ló need the support yìí kò ní da fáwọn tó bí ẹ kí ni mo fẹ́ fi support ẹ ṣe mo tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ ẹ ni 24 years ni mo ti gbé nílùú yìí bí mo bá ṣiṣẹ́ èmi náà jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Britain ni British mélòó ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ debit kan ní gbogbo wọn gbà àjọ wà lẹ́nu ẹ ni àpàdé lálẹ́ mo kí gbogbo yín alẹ́ kọ́ndì tèmi they want to keep Nigeria but they are living outside olùsí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni jókòó sí Sheffield ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ká keep Nigeria lọ sí Nigeria kó ló máa gbé ní Nigeria mo kí bàbá mi Moses bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn ní lose focus orí ìtawà yìí tweet and question mo kí àròlé Odùduwà mo ti rí mẹ́sẹ̀gì tẹ́ fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi màá reply yín ẹ̀yin tèmi I'm checking out check in kan Yorùbá nation anthem ẹ yẹ kí n mọ̀ lórí ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa forílẹ̀ ibi wa kàgbéga 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 fàlérí ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ́ ká máa lépa tẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára ọmọ Odùduwà ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ wọ́n ní ká bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ olórí burúkú kan ní ká wà ní Nàìjíríà bomb bastard ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀ àdì ìyá mi Dúpẹ́ Agboola mo kí the jungle ọwọ́ mi méjì lókè ay brand ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀ gbogbo security kìíní àná làwa náà ń gbọ́ àti intermediate sì sọ DSS ojoojúmọ́ ló ń fún mi ní report n tó ń sọ nínú ọ́fíìsì wọn every blessed day report ń dọ́dọ̀ tèmi náà ẹ má wọrí gbogbo tó ń lọ lágbàáyé. Thanks so much Mr. Dele ní Sheffield ẹ lọ wo gbogbo platform àtòkù mo kí gbogbo wa o ẹ̀yin ọ̀nà báwọn ọmọ mi ṣeré inú léjàre mo ṣáà ti fẹ́ iná ṣeré díẹ̀ ó dé lẹ́yìn kẹta tá à ń ṣe léèní táwa tún lọ opportunity àpadà wá lálẹ́ mo kí yín o bye for now. Oòduà á gbé wa ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ni kò ní gbé tèmi bá jẹ́ ọ̀dàlẹ̀ kó má gbé ni bọ̀ tí ì bá ṣọ̀dàlẹ̀ lẹ́nu tá gbé dání àtàtúndélẹ̀ èmi ni last man standing bye for now.